What's up, guys, and welcome back. First of all, if you would like to support me and the channel, my PayPal will be in the description, so thank you all very much. So welcome back to Anime King 3, and I'm back with a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected and Awaken Omni Energy, guys. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episodes over the other channels. I posted a brand new series over Anime King of What If Naruto Was Kirby, guys, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy. Also, if you want your What If to be done by me, simply comment your ideas and I'll jot it down for future use. So without further ado or waste any more time, let us begin this brand new episode. Let us begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, we went into the history of the Otsutsukis. As the three main elders, we got to know a bit about them, their origin, how it started, the mystery around Shibai Otsutsuki. The three elders were his progeny, created by him. Their goal, well, still revolving in some mystery in the end. But their current goal was to get the planet's fruit. In exchange, the Otsutskis that were sent out were given the pills to make them youthful, stronger than ever. Thus, things seemed to be going rather well when it came to the hierarchy of the Otsutsuki. There has been some in the past that has betrayed the clan. However, you had special members of the clan that hunted them down. We then got into Sawya. She was a part of a different program which sent the Otsutskis like her to planets that still had so many unknown. Throughout her lifetime, she has corrupted entire civilization downfall. She has started global epidemic and chaos. She has sentenced thousands, millions, trillions to death because of her actions. She was a very influential person. Thus, when the three elders called her, being the first time she was seeing them, she was shocked. Beyond shock, as she was able to receive a mission directly from them. Her goal was to go to the wielder of Omni Energy. There was something about Omni Energy that was terrifying to the three elders. Since their lifetime, every Otsutsuki was told to fear Omni Energy in a way, not to tussle with it, and to report anything that was anywhere close to being feeling like Omni Energy in the slightest. And now that they felt it on the elemental nation, Sawya was sent there to investigate, find the user, learn his limits, learn his weakness. And that is how she ended up on the planet. And that is how Naruto found out about her betrayal. However, at the moment, Naruto was speaking with Minato. Having arrived, Naruto just wanted to talk. Kushina and Mito were there. She was the only one that hasn't seen him, but seeing him now, Mito was quietly observing the situation. Minato stepped inside first, wanting to talk to Naruto as Naruto would just like to understand. Why was he never a priority? He come to believe that he was a problem because someone that he come to trust, the only person that he's let in since everything took place, just ripped out his heart. and he couldn't take this pain anymore. There was no hesitation as mother and sister rushed inside, wanting him to understand. Their words, as they tried to break through his shell, they made a mistake. They were horrible. When he tried to leave, Mito grabbed him and hugged him, trying to show him there was another way. Everything had changed her, and after becoming so better familiarized with Gaara, seeing his life, hearing his story, it just made things worse as she realized how bad she was. Giving orders from his father to come here, when Menma arrived he was stunned. To see Mito hugging Naruto, the family crowding around him, the whispers of jealousy and anger rage inside. He was pissed. Extremely so, he was pissed off. However, Naruto pushed Mito out of the way, saving her as a beam shot him out of the village. It was her. She came here to fight. Sawya. Both Naruto and Sawya clash, causing damage as they flew. She transformed, exposing her horn as she was ready to fight. Her words made him angry, but as Naruto beated her down, he realized that she wanted to die. She poured her heart out. She was ruthless. She did whatever it takes. She sent thousands to their deaths, millions to their deaths. And she did so for the pride of her clan, but ever since coming here, something was different. And she can't control it. These changes that she was feeling, she was trying her best, but she can't control it. And his words, they struck her so deep. She tried to make him understand, but she knew how hard it was for him to trust, and yet she took that trust and lied to him. But the best that she could do was offer her life because she couldn't stand this pain, but Naruto refused to kill her. She told him that they were going to come if she did not return reports. Over the years, she's been trying her best to slow down the progress, to make sure that he was safe, but Naruto was so angry. That is when the seedling that was supposed to be offline flew from her hand and vanished. As she realized what happened, they placed a safeguard just in case. We then skip to the three Otsutsuki elders as they spoke to someone. They told him about the mission, which involved Naruto and Sawya. This man was extremely dangerous in every single causality of the word. As he made his way to the elemental nation, Sawya tried to warn Naruto, but Naruto refused to run. He refused to hide. Wasn't this the purpose that she's been training him for the past couple of years? He will wait, and he will dominate all of his foes. He will crush them and anyone else that is sent. But she was worried. She tried to speak to him, but he flew off. He needed time, but she was afraid that they just didn't have any time. As for his family, they were unable to find Naruto. Menma had went home, angry about the whole situation, when suddenly he heard a voice. But there was no one there, as this tempting voice started to offer him everything that he wanted, everything that he desired. So yeah guys, basically that's where the topic guys can switch across the PlayStation of yourselves to begin this new episode. A strange phenomenon was taking place. It's been weeks, and everyone around the elemental nation could feel it. Tremors. Constant tremors going through the earth. Vibrations traveling through the very air itself. The people were wondering what was going on. Some crazy fanatics believing that this was the end of the world. Too much chaos and bloodshed had shed all over throughout the ages, and it was time for the world to stop all of it by creating a perfect cleanse. You had some really crazy people in this world. They were unaware of what was currently going on. Meanwhile, at Konoha, Minato Namikaze was unable to find Naruto because he was on the constant move. Minato had no idea what was going on, or who was that woman that attacked Naruto. He was upset because he was so close in trying to convince his son. When Mito embraced Naruto, he did not push her off, but instead he pushed her back to save her, and took the attack in his chest. Minato believed there was hope, but that woman attacked him, and since then he's been missing. Minato was trying his best to be positive and keep the family together and not divided, but Mito and Menma were going through a lot right now. As Menma showed his lack of concern and care, and it was angering Mito, which is causing a lot of arguments, causing Menma to stay out, to avoid the whole family. Minato tried his best to sit down and speak with him. Just because they were trying to solve things with Naruto doesn't mean that they were trying to put him out. It doesn't mean that they would see him any different. He was their son as well, and they will love him the same. But Menma just would not hear it. And now, with these seismic waves that were traveling through the elemental nation, Minato believed that it involved Naruto. Yes, he did. Meanwhile, at the land of rain, Konan, powerful member of the organization known as Yakasuke, stepped up beside her leader, his orange hair blowing in the wind as the rain was fluctuating patterns due to the tremors that were taking place at the moment. What is it? She questioned him. His fascination with these tremors were becoming a lot. She would like to know if he knew exactly what was going on. This power, he said, it's unusual. The Rinnegan could see a tiny fraction, maybe 0.1% of what was truly going on. Because when it comes to Omni Energy, when it comes to the true evolution of energy and the origin, the Alpha, the Rinnegan was absolutely nothing. It might be seen as a godly eye to people in the lesser realm, like the elemental nation, but in terms of overall view, the Rinnegan was nothing compared to Omni Energy. But he could see it though. Unlike most, he could see the pattern, he could see the vibration, more detail. The world was not ending, but something was getting stronger, vastly stronger. He dispatched Zetsu to find out what was truly going on, but Zetsu was unable to properly locate it due to the constant moving around. However, that wasn't all that was happening at the moment. Slowly, a powerful seal that has been here for thousands of years was being affected. The seal was slowly trembling, slowly being hit by the force that governed all the other forces. She was supposed to be in an endless sleep. She was supposed to close her eyes and sleep until, well, sleep for the rest of eternity. Until the heavens crumble, until the skies turn dark, until the planets crumble away into nothingness. However, her power was slowly fluctuating. A goddess that was meant to sleep but slowly being awakened due to the pulsating power that was currently spreading across the entire elemental nation. Where this power was coming from? At the moment, Sawya, she stood her distance. Naruto made it very clear that he did not want to talk. He was upset, he was angry. Things weren't the same as before. As much as she tried to show him that she wouldn't betray him, the only thing that he had, it wasn't his power. It was nothing to do with strength, it was his trust. That was the only thing that Naruto truly valued in this world. Because he never gave anyone his trust since what happened to him when he was younger. And she took it. He gave it to her more than his trust. He gave her his love. But she hurt him in a way that not even his parents hurt him before. Because with her, he looked past the red flags. He looked past everything just to see the goodness. Just to find the happiness of actually loving someone. But she took that away. That is why he didn't want to talk. She would still be valuable when it comes to, well, aiding him in learning more about her people to destroy them. And she has been. Since he found out, she has been very talkative about the subject of what their powers entail, trying her best to give him all the power, all of the solution, all of the way to fight. But he barely spoke, he barely reacted. He just took the information. She was worried. He needed to listen to her. He needed to listen to her and take her lessons to heart. But he wasn't. She needed to get through to him. She needed to let him settle down. She know that he hates her, but the way he is right now, if they were to come here, if they were to send their forces here, everyone will die, including him. Most likely he would be captured though, and she didn't want that for him. She looked at herself. She couldn't believe that one person would make her betray her entire fate, her entire clan just like that. But he did it. He changed her in ways that she never thought was actually possible. But he just would not listen. The constant fluctuation was Naruto meditating as he was trying to synchronize everything into one. He was successful, but holding it and truly replicating the force perfectly was much harder than one would believe. But for the past couple of hours, the perfect flow of Omni Energy was seeping from his core. But utilizing it to its fullest was something that he has yet to achieve, because if that was the case, she wouldn't be worried about him. She would be worried about them. But this power was never mastered by anyone. That is why there were so many unknowns. She still didn't know why the elders fear this power so much. She looked towards him as she stepped forward, but once again, he flew away, wanting to keep his distance away from her. She had no choice. She had to do something, and she had to do something fast. Time skip. Minato was in his office when suddenly Mito and Kushina were brought inside via a teleportation, their essence simply teleporting inside. Sawya was in there as well. Menma, who wasn't even near to the vicinity, as he was deep in the training grounds, also appeared as well. Shock and confusion, all of them were. Minato immediately got up. The envoys, weapons were raised. How did I brought you all here? Sawya spoke. Kunai was grabbed immediately as Minato was ready to fight. I am not here to fight you, she said. The envoys stood dangerously. You're the one that attacked Naruto, said Minato. Kushina was mad, so was Mito. What did you do to him, Mito said. Where is he? You see, he's fine. Calm down and listen to me, otherwise you're all going to die. She saw the look on their faces. I won't be the one that kills you, but it's my people, she said. Now listen to me and do not interrupt. I am not from this planet. I hail from a planet many distance away from here. I came here because Naruto, he has a power known as the Omni Energy. A life force of every single power, cross every single known reality. He's trying to master that power. My people, they fear it. Thus they send me here to understand him. So, you were using him? Mito said, yes, I was. In the beginning. You're the one, said Minato. You broke his heart. You're the reason why he came to us. Yes, I hurt him. I took the one thing that he had left in this world, and I hurt him. I took his trust. He found out that I was reporting back to my people. They were looking at her very dangerously. Her words did not make sense because her actions was something was right here. I don't know what it was, but my small time that I spend here, he's changed me. Believe me if you don't want. Believe me if you shall, but I simply don't care. But if something is not done, all of us is going to die. And he will be captured and subjected to horrors that none of you can begin to understand. What are you saying? Menma questioned. Menma has been going through a lot. But it wasn't just about Naruto. Lately, a voice has been plaguing his thoughts. The voice wanted to give him power, but Menma refused. Despite everything, Menma was still a very prideful individual. He wanted to get stronger on his own. He wanted to be the best, not by getting power from anyone that think that they can use him. He refused. The more he refused, the less the voice spoke up, which he believed was something good. He didn't tell anyone about this, his own arrogance, keeping this information to himself. As Sawya looked towards all of them, you need to understand, my people will come here, and they will come for Naruto, and this planet as well. This planet is rich with chakra, rich with power. They will suck it dry, and every single life form will die. There is not a single doubt in my mind that will be the result if you people don't help me get through to him. What exactly do you mean get through to him, said Kushina. I need you to convince him that he should listen to me. He should listen to you. You were lying to him in the beginning. Who's to tell if you're not lying now, said Mito. Sawya released a breath. I know it's hard for you people to trust, but don't trust me. After all, you shouldn't trust anyone. People tend to take your trust and do bad things, she said in a much lower tone. But if you desire the survival of your people, the survival of your planet, you will do as I say. Because if you don't, there will be great boom. Everyone snapped their head towards the market area of the village. Immediately they felt it. Sawya started to shake. No, it can't be him, she said. Meanwhile, as several people start to rise back to their feet after being thrown back from the massive collision that came out of nowhere, someone stood there. A man. He was tall. Yes, very tall. He stood around 7 feet tall, rippling with pure muscles, wearing a white vest with a cream color robe that wrapped around his top torso. He was wearing strange pants. They didn't look like they were made anywhere near this planet. You could see the different shape and material, but there was an obi wrapped around his waist. As he stood there, he had spiky white hair. It was short, stopping at the nape of his neck. One of his his left eye, was closed, as a scar, similar to the one that Kakashi had, ran from the top to the bottom, stopping right above his mouth. His right eye was open though, viewing everything around him. His eye show off the Byakugan in its purest form. This man was no normal man. As the Konoha ninjas started to arrive on the scene, one by one, Minato Namikaze arrived, along with his guards. Sawya floated above them. Menma landed down on the roof. So did Mito and Kushina behind them, as they all observed the singular individual that stood there. The way he looked at them like how they would look at maggots, like how they would look at disgusting insects, like they were beneath him. His name was Turka Otsutsuki. Turka wasn't any normal Otsutsuki. He was bred and created by the elders themselves. A living deterrent for those that step out of line, as the elders created him and his little group. So even through their words, their actions are met. After all, the elders are not seen by the younger ones. But Turko, the man that is known as the Punisher, his title is Squad, the Punisher. He was bred for this. Loyal amongst loyal, powerful amongst powerful. The Punisher was something terrible. Sawya was afraid. Out of all people, they sent him. She heard the rumors. She heard whispers, and she was afraid. As she gazed down towards him, the elders were afraid. They wanted everything to be wrapped up. She cowered where she float. It was over, she thought to herself. He was created to hunt down any Otsutsuki that betray or dilute the purity of their clan. He was the final say for those that step out of line. He was the elders' lapdog basically for punishment. That is why he was known as a Punisher. He took his job with such serious. It was truly insane. He considered himself the voice of judgment for those that step out of line, for those that did not see the clan as the greatest thing in the vast universe. After all, any blood that runs from the tree must be burned at the bark, and those who step out of line will face his wrath. You could see the massive axe on his shoulder, the executioner's axe, Kurisuki, a massive, double-headed battle axe, said to be forged from the blood of a dying god. It is said that it's able to split the very essence of someone, to destroy them in a way that simply could not fathom in normal physical blows or attributes. With a single step, the place trembled. As he looked around, he spotted her. Sawya descended down towards the ground. She only saw one way to end this. You're here for me, she said, stepping forward. You already know what you've done wrong. Should I even say your crimes? No, don't waste your time. Take me, she said. I have done my people wrong. I warn. The Omni Energy user. He fled. Minato and the others heard her words. Realizing what she was trying to do, she was trying to protect them and Naruto. He fled. The Punisher questioned with a raised eyebrow. Yes, he left this place, afraid of the might that would come for him. Because I betrayed our clan. I betrayed our people. I betrayed my oath. And I warned him about what was going to happen, so the elders, none of you can get your hands on him. Curious one, aren't you? The Punisher said. Speaking to me like that, knowing that you are already dead. He appeared in front of her. Despite his size, his speed was incredible. However, Minato made a move. Minato made a move as the man raised the axe. This person was the only person that can perhaps help them and Naruto. A Rasengan slammed into the Punisher's face. However, Minato took a step back, perplexed, confused. The man did not budge. The technique did rupture, but he tanked it. Pathetic. He swung his arm and Minato was sent sailing. The force crashing into Minato and sending him into a building. All hell broke loose as Sawya was grabbed away by Mito chains. As the man was attacked on the spot, it was close combat to kill him before he caused any damage within the village. Execute him. Two more chains erupted from Mito and grabbed his arms and pulled them down. Kunai shurikens. Quick attacks. Menma leaped up above his head and formed a Rasengan. But it was larger. Giant Rasengan, he said. As he brought it down, the Punisher smiled. Mito's eyes went wide as he flexed his power. Everyone was launched away. Sawya, seeing what they were doing despite being so outmatched, she immediately ascended into her next form. A bow and arrow appeared in her hand, similar to what she hit Naruto with, but this was at least 10 times more powerful. The white bow and arrow, as she fired it, the blast ripping through space and slamming into his chest. It sent him sailing back until he dug his foot in the ground. Barely, it left marks on his chest. His body started to glow. Her hands trembled. Menma burst out of the ground and delivered a brutal uppercut. He flipped and dropped his heel in the man's head. Several punches, kicks. The man grabbed Menma's fist. He slapped him across the face. The force traveled through Menma's body and crushed him into the earth. Minato shouted for Menma to move, which he did. Minato dashed inwards, creating two Rasengans, but these were different. They spiral outwards. Years of, growth, years of more twisting experiments in his techniques. They took the Punisher off his feet and launched him. He was sent sailing through the sky. The amount of force behind the technique, you could see that it took a lot of chakra. Minato stood there. As he watched, the man stopped himself in mid-air. His body started to glow even more, a red hue that surrounded him. Seems like you little worms do possess some power. He sniffed the air. This planet will be worthy for consumption, he said. Despite all that has been done, he was barely affected. Menma looked down at both of his hands. Shock. His punches did nothing. His strength did absolutely nothing. Minato already sent several shurikens up in the air to confuse him with several kunais. Minato started to blitz around him. All that could be seen was a yellow flash. Minato tried to rip into his skin. However, his skin was so durable. Minato was perplexed though as he was moving so fast, yet the Punisher's eyes turned. Minato's throat was grabbed. The Punisher dropped along with him, cushioning a scream as he dashed over there. Arriving in the outer section of the village, a massive crater. Minato lying on his back, unable to move as the Punisher's hand was on his throat. He lifted Minato. Kushina and Mito launched their chains. However, he grabbed it and yanked the both of them. He then threw his arm outwards as a force released a shockwave that sent them sailing away, crashing down hard. Sawya came rushing in. She dashed in front of him. She kicked him in the face, forcing him to release Minato. She flipped and swift underneath his legs. She grabbed his arm. She pulled and twisted and launched him straight out of the village. She held her hand up, her chakra swirling, creating a red beam. She gripped onto it and threw it. It exploded in his chest in mid-air, launched him out of the village. He crashed violently. She looked around as Minato struggled to get back to his feet. His throat was red. His back was in pain. What is he? Minato questioned to her. She couldn't get a finish as her face was grabbed and dragged across the pavement. She cried out as he rubbed her face through the earth. He picked her up bruised and battered. He slammed his fist in her gut. Shockwaves could be seen in mid-ear. Literally, the ear was vibrating. Bam! Bam! 3 times as she was coughing up blood. Sawya was strong. Very so. But this man was breaded for one reason, and one reason only. However, Menma exploded out of the earth, hiding like a mole technique. As he flipped and grabbed the head, he grabbed onto the head of the Punisher. Menma pulled him with all of his strength, pulling the Punisher back, but the man reached and gripped Menma. Only for Lady Snavi and Kushina both slammed their fists in his face, knocking him off his feet. He was pushed back through mid-ear as Minato grabbed him and teleported him out of the village. Once that was done, Minato landed the man in a field. The specialized envoys quickly erupted the barrier. They were no longer in the village where they had to hold their power back. Racing out of the village was Menma, coursing with the energy of the Nine Tails, as Mito was also coursing with the power as well. They were ready to fight and defend their village. Sawya stood there. Her fear was holding her back. She was far stronger than this, but facing someone like that, knowing how terrifying he is. Yet these humans, they weren't afraid. They were fighting with everything they got despite being outmatched. She sped off to help them, releasing her power constantly to allow Naruto to feel that they were in danger. As her power spread far enough to reach him. Meanwhile, inside of the dome, Minato was coursing with Sage Mode. But not only that, years of training, Minato was able to refine his wind control into Wind God mode. A new mode that he created after his battle with the Hokage showed him that a possible defense was there. He did not create it then, but seeing the Hokage lightning cloak gave him an idea. And now, empowered by the Sage mode and his Wind God mode, Minato was actually pushing back the Punisher. And the moment the Punisher realized that this one was a bit stronger than the others, he started to laugh. "You insects will perhaps be a bit entertaining until the real show," he said. He lifted the axe and hit the ground. Minato and everyone was shocked as he split the earth. The force of the split was so strong that it ripped open the barrier. Both Menma and Mito burst, slamming punches and kicks in his face, knocking him back, pushing him back. The both of them forming Nine-Tail Enhanced Rasengan and slamming it in his chest. They launch him backwards at Snavi, glowing with power, strike him in the back. Kushina formed her chain and descended them upon him. They crashed down into him, sending him into the earth. However, he exploded out, a smile on his face. More, he said. He was smiling and the red energy around him was growing. Something was wrong, Minato noticed. So far they all had a crack at him, but he's barely taking any damage. That is when strange rose petals strike into him, each of them creating a violent burst, courtesy of Sawya. However, he spun his axe, cancelling out everything that she threw. It was the power. It was his sense of battle. It was making him stronger. Yes, she did not know a lot about him. She heard rumors, but his abilities were something that Sawya did not know. Sawya did not know how truly powerful he was. She knew he was one of the top members, but the abilities that he possessed was something that she did not have knowledge on. After all, while she was a part of the, infiltration department, she wasn't that high up to get information on him. That is why she was so shocked that the elders called her, that they were willing to speak with her and not send a proxy. That is the reason why she was so shocked. He was feeding off the bloodlust of the battle. Yes, the more they fought, the stronger he got, tapping into that power inside of him that was constantly boosting his strength. That is why he was glowing red. His power was growing the more he fought. Because he loved it. He enjoyed it. There was not a single ounce of fear. He wasn't afraid. He was never created to be afraid of anything. Thus, he was growing stronger the more they fought him. It wasn't their power, being unable to truly hurt him. Yes, he was a Otsutsuki, yes, he was strong, but he was getting stronger with their blows. And he was enjoying it. His eye that seemed to be damaged was not damaged in the slightest. Yes, someone did slash him there trying to remove it, but, well, it wasn't damaged. And his eye was open, but barely. The more he opened that eye, the more of his power he used. You see, it was his special eye that allowed him to do what he's currently doing. If you look very closely, you could see it. A crimson, spiraling Rinnegan. The color was a deep, glowing crimson with spiraling patterns that burn. Instead of shimmer, yes, they were burning. And the more he opened the eye, the more his power grew. His Rinnegan absorbed the emotions of the battle, the joy, the bloodlust, which was making him stronger as he fought, tapping into that power deep within inside of him, making his levels grow stronger and stronger and stronger. The more the battle continued, the more his chakra is pushed, the more his power is pushed into limitless tiers of strength. His axe started to glow with that red energy as well, as he took a step. Now, it's been a long time since I had some fun crushing some peasants, he said. He blitzed in front of Minato. Despite his size, he knocked Minato with his elbow. Minato was stunned. All of them rushed in, but he threw them back. Stepping into his guard was Sawya. Undetectable due to her ability, she struck him in the head. He staggered backwards. She struck him in the chest and in the knee. She knocked him so hard he fell down to one knee. More, he said as she shot upwards and gripped her throat. This time he bashed her across the ground like she was nothing. As he held her up, Menma cursed as he struggled to get to his feet, along with the rest of them. Might Guy, Kakashi and the others arriving. As the others were in the village, making sure everything was safe, making sure the civilians get to safety, just in case the battle was brought back because the barrier had been destroyed. We can't win, Sawya said. She could feel him getting stronger. As Minato rose, refusing to give up, he whipped his kunai in the ear as he was about to throw it, when suddenly, everyone could hear it. Deep within the vastness of space, something was descending towards the planet. He wanted a very high distance. So when he do this, Sawya fell. She fell down to the ground. As the Punisher was hit so hard, the seismic shockwave lift her and everyone upwards. Every tree in the vicinity, every single one of them were gone. Every one of them. The Punisher hit and bounced, his body flying through the land of fire, crashing into a empty meadow and destroying it. What the hell was that? Menma said, getting to his feet. He's here, Sawya said, rubbing her throat. The Punisher rose. It's been a long time since I've been hit that hard, he said. So you're him, the one who possessed Omni chakra. Naruto looked towards him. Are you the best they have to offer? Naruto questioned. The Punisher chuckled. You know nothing about our clan, our people. But my orders are to bring you back, or to destroy you. Resist if you must, but it will end with your death, he said. Naruto landed, gazing towards the man. "This is good," he said. "I'm glad that you're strong, because I want to send your people a message that they don't own me. They can't force me to do their bidding. By sending you back to them. Not with their body, of course." The Punisher chuckled. "You have no idea who I am, do you, boy?" "How about you tell me," said Naruto. He dropped his axe on Naruto, having cleared the distance so fast. But he was shocked because Naruto grabbed it. Yes, he did. Naruto grabbed the axe. The Punisher was indeed shocked. But he smiled, only for Naruto to slam a ki blast in his face, launching him into the air. Naruto was above him in a second. Naruto drop kicked him so hard, the island shook. He burst out of the ground and swung the axe, releasing a powerful thread of power that split open the heavens. All the clouds vanished. The air itself trembled. Naruto reached out and created a blade solely from ki and clashed with the axe. But the blade was destroyed. The axe nullified it rather quickly. Naruto spun and kicked him across the face. He staggered back, several punches to his gut, and lifted him and dropped him through the ground. But the Punisher backhanded Naruto. The both of them went at it, tearing the land apart, kicking and punching, slamming, using the axe. The Punisher was laughing, enjoying the battle as him and Naruto ran at one another. Their blow shook the island once again, tearing it upwards, the water rushing in. Naruto grabbed him and plunged him into the earth, going deep in the water as Naruto braked his fist down in his face again and again and again and again, causing the water surface to explode. Citizens in Kiri were frightened as the tremors ripped through the ground, causing islands to shake. Utakata, the Jinjulki of the Six Tails, he was baffled as something flew past him, ripping through so much trees and cracking the island that he was standing on. He then saw someone else flew past, releasing a blast that almost swallowed the entire island. Naruto flew upwards and started to descend, ki blast down upon him after ki blast. They destroyed the island completely as a Punisher flew towards Naruto swinging his axe. Naruto swing his fist. A shockwave resonated through the heavens, causing mass destruction all around. Racing towards the scene was Sawya, being the only one to truly fly to get over there, as she blazed through the heavens, trying to keep up with their movements. Naruto kept on switching between the energies. However, the Punisher was nullifying his attack, tearing through them with his axe. He gripped Naruto's face and dropped him into the ground. He then dropped the axe in his chest. It slammed into Naruto. Naruto's body was just as durable, but he started to bleed. The Punisher then grabbed him and lifted him through a mountain, literally flying upwards, breaking Naruto's body through it. He then grabbed the broken chunk and drilled it into Naruto's skull, burying him under the mountain. He then threw the axe downwards. The colliding force wiped out all the stone. The citizens of Kumo were petrified as they were in their vicinity. The destruction causing mass problem within their village, windows broken, earth breaking apart. The Punisher stood there, hovering above, as he turned to see Sawya Otsutsuki. "I suppose the power of the Omni Energy wasn't that great," he said. "A perfect test of my loyalty and allegiance to my clan, to show that my absolute power shall always stand tall," he said. His eye was fully open after his battle with Naruto, fully showing his full Rinnegan, fully breaking through several of his limits, making him exponentially stronger. He stood there as Sawya rushed down towards Naruto. "No, you can't be," she said, throwing the stones away. The Punisher landed. "It's futile," he said. "Even if he's not dead yet, he will be soon enough. Now stand still and accept your fate. You deserve no better after what you've done to your clan. It's a disgrace," he said. Suddenly, tremors went through the earth. More and more and more. The Punisher looked around. Sawya was pushed back. As the heavens themselves opened up, the energy that came from the destroyed area bypassed as it split through the heavens. Locked away in her seal, Kaguya Otsutsuki opened her eye as she watched the very concept of the seal shattering. The power spreading across the elemental nation. Countless start to collapse, not being strong enough. They were knocked unconscious. Remember, Omni Energy was everything, including Hokage everything. It was everything combined. As Naruto had been tapping into the others. Alone, taking someone like the Punisher on and pushing him so far was impressive because this man right here was trained by the elders, created by the elders. He was ungodly powerful. Thus, to take him on even in that mode. But now, Naruto's power was so great, it started to reach everything, causing negative and positive effects. Lands started to bloom, oceans started to dry, heaven started to rain, and Kaguya Otsutsuki's seal started to crack. Many distance away, each of the Otsutsukis snapped their gaze upwards. They felt it. On a distant planet, Momoshiki Kinshiki. Another planet, Yurishiki. Closer than anyone think, Ishiki Otsutsuki also felt it. The power spiraling. Menma back at the village, strangely enough felt it in a very different way. Similar to the others. Now that was weird, as Menma wasn't like them, but he felt it the same way the other Otsutsukis did. The power surge. When Naruto stepped out of the rubble, she saw him. His body was fluctuating. Something was different. His power was not the same. It was fluctuating all over him. Omni Energy. Had he learned to control it? No. Couldn't be that fast, she thought to herself. Using all of them at once. Naruto always believed that was a true definition of Omni Energy because all of them combined made this white source of light. But he was wrong. Truly tapping into Omni Energy in this way was different. As Naruto lay under those boulders, shocked by how he was taken down, a voice was calling out to him to give up. However, he thought about everything he's been through. And if he were to give up now, if he were to bend a knee, that would be the definition of pathetic. Pride, strength, resilience, his willpower. Naruto held a blade in his hand. The blade was forged from Omni Energy. You could see the aspects of the different energy, the key that made it, the essence of his soul from the Raishi, the armor from the armorer's Hokage, the spiritual power, the mana that made the power coursing through him, the glowing eyes, the representation of everything coming together to make one force that when he stepped, Naruto reached the Punisher. But once again, he showed why he was bred to be what he is. He swung his axe. The two forces collide, and space started to crack around them. Both of them vanish. Sawya, as fast as her eyes was, she could not keep up. However, when the Punisher was buried into the ground, when he got back up and Naruto cut through him, literally tearing through his aspect, the blade ripping away his power. When he swung once again and Naruto gripped his blade so tight and shattered the axe that was made from the bone of a god. She was perplexed. For the first time since the battle began, the Punisher, you could see the fear. Fear came with shock, surprise. Naruto stabbed his blade in the ground and clenched his fists. The following few seconds were brutal. With each blow that Naruto sent into the Punisher's chest or face, he started to feel them. His body, his eyes weren't not keeping up to make him stronger. In fact, he was growing weaker, as the pain was overriding his system. Naruto hit him so hard that space itself seemed to be unable to truly handle the force, as he seemed to glitch out of very time and space itself. Naruto appeared above him though, and turned his head by stepping in his face. The Punisher hit the ground, bloody. As he coughed up blood, he lay there, his broken axe near to him. As Naruto hovered over him, tears start to leave his eyes. He was crying, yes. He was crying because he was failing his people. This was his goal, this was his purpose. How dare he be bested by a target? It was impossible. It was disgrace. He exploded with power as he got back upwards, truly tapping into something awful. You could see the difference between his power and Naruto. The sky itself started to turn red, the atmosphere being affected by this monster. At his village, Pain gazed outwards. What is it? Is it the end of the world? She had to make the statement. Conan just couldn't understand. And she wasn't the only one. Perhaps. Nagato spoke. For the first time, the god was coming across something that he truly doesn't understand, something that he truly can't fathom, as he more than anyone else could see the amount of power. Is Rinnegan allow him to see it? It was terrifying. A distance away, the masked man gazed upwards, but only Zetsu knew. He knew this power, but he never expected them to come so soon. Nor did his mother. This was bad. Really, really bad. The world as they know it, it's going to end. And he failed to free his mother. He was pissed, but there was something else. Who could be fighting this force? Could it be? Zetsu made his way, heading straight towards the area to truly find out what in the world was going on. The power had scared him enough to stop him in his tracks, but his sole purpose in this life was to make sure his mother is brought back. And he would not fail. He would not fail, he thought to himself as he made his way back towards the scene. The Punisher was back on his feet, but he was no longer the same. Far from it. Last resort. As he ascended into his spiral, god form, his skin turned obsidian red. The broken axe was reconstructed by his power. It was now coursing in eternal flame. He raised his hand upwards as he pledged to his gods. I will never lose my faith, he said, red tears streaking down his face. I allow my own weakness of fear to take over. And as a promise, it will never happen again. In your name, I will burn this earth. I will annihilate all that stand against the Otsutsukis. All of our enemies, their future, their past. I will eradicate it all, he said to the heavens. The battle was not for power or lust anymore. It was him speaking to gain true understanding of the divine truth, of their people and his gods. He gazed at the two of them, but first, Sawya, you wear Shibai's blood like it's yours, but you flee your duty. You are a crack of weakness, and you call yourself a Otsutsuki. I shall purify your essence, he said. And as for you, wielder of the Omni Energy, today will be your last. I will snuff out your existence and devour your very soul, he said. With a single step that he took, the ground trembled, a monster if there ever was one. The problem was Naruto. He had yet to say a single word. He had yet to even open his mouth. As he looked at the Punisher, something was off. Sawya could see it. He gazed at her. She immediately moved away. Something was not right. The way he looked, it was like a warning. She didn't understand. The Punisher appeared in front of Naruto as both men gazed at one another, the Punisher being larger and taller. Naruto looked up in his face. He looked down at Naruto. And in that moment, all hell broke loose. Meanwhile, a woman was being helped up, weak. As she was on the earth, a young man was aiding her. Unaware of who she was, her long flowing white hair, he found her, believing that the Tremors had done something to knock her out. Back at the village, Menma was hesitating. He wanted to fight, but the voice of reason told him that he was going to die. It was just like with Naruto. Bested once again. Useless. Worthless. Weak. He was always weak. Always useless. That is when he heard it. The voice that has been quiet. Would you like that to change? Who are you? Said Menma. What are you? I am simply the truth. What? For the longest time now you've been in your brother's shadow. Even though you deserve it more. Even though you train and push yourself so hard. And yet, once again he's there. Showing that he's stronger and better than you. Showing that he's more important than you. Even your own parents saw that. But I am the truth that you need. I am the power that rightfully belongs to you. Think about it. Do you believe that your brother is the only one that was blessed with this power? Wait, does that mean yes? All you have to do is to accept me. Allow me to give you what you desire. And within time, no one will be greater than you. Menma gave in. After seeing Naruto stepped in and saved the day, there was no hesitation, he wanted it. Menma dropped down to one knee. Nearby, Mito saw him. What's wrong? Nothing, he said. Guess I'm just a bit still winded, he said. However, as she turned her head, Menma looked into his palm and saw a strange symbol. What the hell? But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace.